Hi and welcome to another episode of Underrated Songs. In this episode, the song we're going to take a look at is a personal favorite of mine. This one's called Nahin Saamne. It's from the movie Taal. Singers are Hariharan and Sukhwinder Singh. Lyric writer is the legendary Anand Bakshi, and music composer is, of course, A.R. Rahman. Before we get into the details, I want you to listen to the song and find the portion where Sukhwinder has sung. As a kid, I never registered Sukhwinder singing in this song, but for this video, I was listening to the song a couple of times and I realized that Sukhwinder indeed has sung in the song, but it's a very tiny portion. I want you to go back and listen to it and let me know in the comment section down below. Let's talk about Anand Bakshi's lyrics. So Anand Bakshi Saab is a legend in the Bollywood film industry. So before this film, he already had a career of say 30, 40 years in the film industry. But what is commendable is that even after all that achievement and everything, he remains true to the characters, true to the script, and true to the song. So the words are very simple. They are emotional. They convey what they want to, but they're simple. And one credit I definitely have to give him here is that the word Priyasi, I don't know if anybody used it before him. I had never heard that word in a Hindi song. Priyasi, this was a song that I heard that word for the first time. If you take a look at the lyrics of this song, you know that Anand Bakshi was somebody who knows the film medium really well. Because whenever he says, तेरा नाम मैंने लिया है यहाँ मुझे याद तूने किया है वहाँ बड़े जोर की आज बरसात है so he's giving the director shots, so you could simply show them and the guy and the girl and then you can show rain. So the lyric is basically providing material for the director to shoot. Now that is great lyric writing, and only a person who stayed in the film industry for so long would write in a very cinematic and a very visual kind of a way. One more thing to note here is that this is a breakup song. It's almost like a love failure kind of a song where the lovers have a spat between them. And this is way before Arijit Singh came into our lives. So it's not that this trend that has caught on now of breakup songs and sad songs came in with Atif or Arijit Singh. It has been there always, and it can be done in this way, in a very sophisticated, very tender way as well. Let's talk about the singing. So Hariharan is again an impeccable singer. He comes from this ghazal kind of background. So talaffuz to bahut saaf hai. All the pronunciations are perfect. But what here I felt was amazing is that Rahman keeps Hariharan in his zone as well, whereas he allows him to go someplace beyond his zone. I'll explain what I mean by that. So all the Mukhla and Antara is pretty much a Hindi film song zone, right? It's very tender. You have to sing, in a very compressed sort of a voice. You have to emote. There are some Indian inflections, but in the beginning, when he's doing the humming and the intro, you have to go into that false voice, which is not really a very easy thing for a ghazal singer to do. But since Hariharan is also very worldly and his music listening and taste is like really wide, so he pulls it off easily. I don't know if that was Rahman's brief or it was Hariharan who came up with it, because we have heard stories where he would just go on the mic and improvise and Rahman would edit it and put it in the song. Also, if you guys carefully notice that long note that he holds in the intro, there's a place where you can find out that it's 2 or 3 takes merged together. It's not all in one breath. You can make that out, but still a very, very commendable effort. So who are we to comment on Hariharan's overall performance? It was absolutely brilliant to listen to, and it pulls at your heartstrings straight away. Let's talk about the composition. The composition here is something that can be taught in music schools. It's that amazing. There's a concept in music called motif or leitmotif. What a leitmotif is a small motif. What it means is that a small idea, it's just a small idea, a small phrase, a small musical idea, which is then developed throughout the piece. This is very popular in symphonies, in piano concertos, and a lot of other forms of Western classical music. That has been, you know, explored really well by Rahman in this song. So the intro that you hear, the piano piece, and the humming, which goes na ra 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 ra, that part is throughout the song. It has been explored. So if you look at the interludes, or you look at the transition from one antra to the other, or from the antra back to the mukhra, you can hear these pieces being slightly changed and played in different instruments, and these two motifs or leitmotifs have been used to develop the entire song. So in other words, these two, three phrases he composed first, and using that, he finished the entire song. Let's talk about production now. I already talked about taking a motif and building a song out of that, but now let's talk about the instrumentation in particular. So, if you take a look, the song starts with this string mandolin kind of instrument, and that leads you into the intro where Hariharan sings, and then the song moves forward. But if you look, all the chords and the harmony is done using strings, but they're used as pads, not like a solo. There are a couple of places where in the interlude, the harsh brass or horn kind of sound comes in to show intensity, but I feel those are not real instruments, those are programmed ones. Back then we couldn't make out. Now I think we can make out, because we have heard all different kind of stuff. Then the song progresses into that intense territory with the interlude, but again very cleverly switches back to a very basic kind of a structure. This is something I really wanted to talk about. Generally, you have a song which is very intense with a lot of instrumentation, or you have a simple song like bare bones, just a guitar and some very simple rhythm. But to have them in the same song, section by section, and still make a lot of sense is A.R. Rahman's genius. So initially, whenever the Mukhra Antra is going on, it's very simple. Very few rhythmic elements, very few melodic elements, and just the voice, right? And some background vocals. That's it. But in the interlude, it becomes very intense, very heavy. But again, it snaps out of it. So this is very, very well done, and this is probably why I love this song so much. Again, the mix and master, everything. Even if you keep it by today's standards, if you check the song by today's standards, it's still very fresh. It's still very pleasant to the ears. So that's it. Overall, the song is one of my absolute favorites, and it's always on my playlist, and I keep listening to it over and over again. So that's it for the video. If you like this video, please leave a like. Check out other stuff on my channel. I do a lot of music related content. If you like any of that, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. If you want to tell me anything, put that in the comment section down below, or you could simply DM me on Instagram. You can find that information in the description as well. So that's it for the video. I'll see you all in another video.